Hey guys, so per usual, everything on this channel is for educational purposes only and is not intended as financial advice. So I'm pretty bullish. I'm super biased. I want to tell you guys why. So let's take a look at some charts. This is the weekly stamp. Again, I've shown this a few times, but currently in the weekly cloud, the best chance of breaking up or continuation would be an exit of the cloud. So when you're in the cloud, it's sort of like resistance or uncertainty or support if you're on the downside. So until the resistance sort of burns off or we're through it, it becomes less likely that anything will happen as far as substantial up. So what I'm saying here is let's let the Kijun meet the price with the cloud. Super supporty area right there with this flat Kumo, and then we'll return to hopefully all-time high sort of levels. Closing in this zone would be huge as far as continuation higher. I mean, this is months down the line probably, but you know, that first weekly into this zone, oh baby. It might be on like Donkey Kong, or it might be, you know, Satoshi's dream is dead again. We'll see. And this is also something to watch out for on the downside, this 465 area. Anytime you see a flat Kumo, I'm on broken record, I know, but anytime you see that, that's a potential target until you break out of the range. Another thing I really want to see is some real volume. By real, I mean high. Like, you know, how high can volume go post-halving? It's really what I'm really wondering. Is there really that much trading capital out there? Is there that much money on the sidelines like there's supposed to be? So I'm still bullish. There's no signs of reversal. There's no signs of necessarily weakening continuation. So let's look at another version of that on the daily. Again, horizontals are your friend. Market memory is your friend. I'm just labeling what I see. No man's land, meaning, you know, we're either zooming through here or we're rejecting from here. Okay, there's no candles in this. There's no bodies in this zone, and that continues even prior, way back. It's just wicks or zoom through. It's not anything in between. So that's partially why, again, 465. If we break this, we're gonna break down this zone most likely, and this support is the top of the ascending triangle. I keep saying this, but everyone's going to be looking at this horizontal as the most nearest resistance. The current bull target 650, 651. It's also psychological resistance. It's an even number, and I'm just sort of being tongue-in-cheek here, but the Winklevi ETF will definitely push us, I think, as many other people do, will push us past any sort of resistance near term anyway. But this probably isn't at least a year out or more. And if I go to the daily again, Bitstamp, if I look at cloud plus pitchfork, we're still at or above the cloud on stamp. Again, really waiting for Kijun to catch up with price. Kijun is like the moving average magnet, basically. Price always wants to go back to that or go around that. So you can see here all these touches here. So you know, if Kijun's up here at cloud, just like on the weekly, what I'm saying, Kijun at cloud, okay. That's what you want to see. Is when I look for long entries and short entries, that's exactly what I want to see. I want to see the moving average at the support or resistance. That's going to be the best entry you can get for anything. Your second best entry would be this Kijun bounce sort of stuff. Whenever it's on the Kijun above or below the cloud, that is an excellent entry. So right now it's just sort of mishmash, nothingness, sideways, okay, as far as entries are concerned, which is why you want to wait till something happens with the Kijun. Another thing I'm sort of highlighting is this pareidolia of we had this dip below this quartile on the pitchfork previously, and then, you know, look what happened after that. maybe not the same market conditions as now, but the next quartile above would be 700 to 720, something like that. And that's sort of this horizontal resistance. And I've said all this before, but we're just sideways, so it's sort of the same stuff over and over again. So I go to the daily, we're back above the 50 and the 5200 EMAs. That's again super bullish. We haven't been below the 50 since we broke out of the trend, the bear trend, the sideways down here. So that's kind of saying the same thing as the pitchfork. This pitchfork goes all the way back to October 2015, just like this EMA cross does. And we've been above the faster EMA the whole time, basically, aside from two market events, Hearn and Bitfinex dying. So still bullish. There's no reason not to be bullish. You might be impatiently bearish because you're thinking, oh, this is just sideways, we got to get moving. Maybe, but the TA doesn't tell me that on high time frames, that's for sure. And then on the daily stamp, potential super loose inverted head and shoulders I posted the other day. Again, your measured target would be about 750, 760. Super loose on this because it's sort of off-kilter diagonal. And you might be saying to yourself, well, the right shoulder is very diminutive compared to the left, but that's possible. I mean, it's not always going to look good every time, especially this is, taking into consideration everything that happened with Bitfinex, and yet it's still painting this sort of interesting head and shoulders pattern. Volume is definitely there. So again, if you see a break of this neckline with a break of volume, I would definitely consider an entry with the target being around 650 and or 750. So that's super bullish, obviously. And then lastly, I just wanted to show a 4-hour, just the confluence around 651, 650 area on stamp. Again, pointed over the triangle is always going to be a horizontal resistance or support. And if I fib out this most recent move here, the fib extension is 651, the monthly pivot is 651. So those are all areas where you're going to see a potential reversal zone, you're going to see a pit stop, whatever you want to call it. You might want to think about closing some or all of your trade if you're trading high leverage there. That's where a lot of people are going to be unloading who are trading shorter time frames, I believe, just because it's just so obvious. So it's something to consider. And aside from that, there's really nothing much else to say other than, we're all hoping for the fundamentals of SegWit and Lightning Network and the ETF and some sort of block size finality as far as, the future, whatever that is. One last TA thing, the difference here and here, I was noticing here we had a definitely bullish cloud versus here it's bearish and sideways. So again, this is probably just nothing, but this is the weakest of all the TA I presented in this video. So per usual, like, share, dislike, comment, subscribe, hit me on Telegram, Twitter. Show me in the comments what you see that I'm not seeing. If you see a pattern you think is there. There's some argument, again, cup and handle, I don't really buy it, but it kind of canceled itself out here, I think. Happy trading.